Hello and welcome to Traditional Painting the Digital Way. This is where I use digital painting apps to teach traditional painting techniques. This is part 2 in my Alien Baby series, and this is part of a series called Ellie's Oddities, where I paint some of the strange and unusual collectibles that I have. And so I'm using Infinite Painter for Android for the app. And if you want to follow along traditionally, check out part 1 in this series where I have a list of the paint, brushes, and the canvases that I use. So here we are. We're still working on the little alien baby's pajamas and his little cow plushie. And so I wanted to go ahead and kind of add the pink nose to the cow. It's kind of a peach color as well. So I wanted to go ahead and paint that in and just kind of get the overall picture done here and try to get the underpainting done so that you can add successive layers to it and start adding lighter and darker colors to the painting to give you the light and the shadow. So I'm still kind of working on the shape of the wrinkles in his pajamas and trying to get the shape of his head and also the shape of his eyes. He has particularly big eyes because, of course, this is an alien baby. It's not a human baby at all, even though it's sort of based on those proportions. And so then here I'm adding some of the light that is going to be around the eyes and on the forehead and the nose. And I went ahead and smoothed it in to sort of give it that smooth texture look, that alien skin type of a look that he has. And I'm using some of the smudge brushes set on the paint category. And then here I want to go ahead and zoom in and start trying to get some detail going here. Start refining these large masses of paint and try to get some of the details going. So I'm working on trying to get his little nose. He's got an alien looking nose, and it doesn't, it just has little slits kind of, and it pokes out a little bit, but not a lot. I've added a little of some purple also in the areas around his eyes just to kind of give it a shadow look. And also he has little purple spots that are painted on him. So that gives kind of a look to his alienness. So I wanted to make sure that those are included as well, because that just that's part of what makes this doll really cute. So I'm adding that and just kind of trying to get still working on the shape of his head, trying to get his head to look right and his eyes, and make sure that I get it big enough. And so I decided that it's too small because it really is bigger compared to his body. So what I've done in Infinite Painter is I've used the lasso tool and the transform tool, and you can use that to go ahead and make the body bigger and do some corrections. And so that's what I really like about Infinite Painter, is you can do these things and make sure that you're on a separate layer. Though that's why you paint things on a separate layer, so that you can do this and not affect the background. And here I just wanted to make his body smaller, his head bigger. And like I said, if you're following along traditionally, try to get the sketch right first so you don't have to paint over with the background. But if you do have to do these corrections, you can do this by just painting over with the background and blending in all those colors again and redoing the stars and things like that. So that's why it's kind of easier to get it right the first time before you do all that. But digital, you can do some corrections on it. So as long as you remember to put separate things on separate layers. So I'm just kind of working again on his pajamas, trying to get the spots and make sure that they sort of follow the shape of his body, and just add the wrinkles because that's going to give it the three-dimensional look. And then I'm working a little bit more on the shape of his head. I just want it to be a little more rounded and a little more even. And so I'm trying to get the lighter colors also on the shape of the alien baby. And I'm working a little bit on his chin and his cheeks and the mouth area. And also the eyes. You want to make sure that the eyes are really big because that's one of his main features is the big black alien eyes. And so I'm working on his mouth and his nose. He's not got a very prominent nose, but it does stick out a little bit. And so I'm adding a little bit of shadow on that side. And again, I like to use the filbert brush for Infinite Painter and the filbert brush for just traditional painting as well. And I sometimes will also use the number 4 flat brush and the number 3 round. And just I'm trying to add little shadows to the edge, and here I'm working on the shape of the cheekbones. They're very prominent and rounded, so I'm trying to get that look going, and also his head is very rounded. So I'm trying to get that look, and then his the side of his head is kind of flattened a little bit. It's like he's got a elongated human skull, sort of. It's not human. The elongation makes it look alien-like, and so I'm just kind of working on that, trying to get that. And the shape of his mouth, he's got kind of a little smile there, and some little lips right there. They're also not very big. They're pretty thin, but he does have this little smile, and so that's what makes him look really cute, is because he has this little smile on his face. And so then I'm working on the rims of his eyes and the cheeks, and just trying to get kind of the shape on the top of his head. Again, it's not completely round, it's kind of elongated. And I just want to kind of get that correct, because that's part of his look, his alienness, I guess you would say. And then I'm adding some highlight to his little nose. Again, it's not a very prominent feature, but it does stick out a little bit. And then he has little nostril holes that are slits, sort of. So I wanted to add a little bit of some highlight there, and also get the correct shape. And I wanted to add a little bit more purple to the edge of his head there, and then add some gray in the middle to kind of get the little indentation there that goes around the eye sockets. So I want to go ahead and blend all that in. When you put that on there, you don't want it to be sharp lines. You want to blend all these things in. So here I was working on one of the eyes, and I decided one of the eyes was lower than the other one. So I was trying to line those up, and just because this is an alien eye doesn't mean that you can forget the rules about making the eyes level and making the nose level and the mouth. You still need to use that principle of keeping the eyes on the same level, and then the nose and then the mouth, all of them level, just to make it look right, unless you're trying to make a really distorted alien. But he's not very distorted. He's just kind of he's humanoid, but he's kind of elongated, I guess. A humanoid skull that's elongated. And here I'm working on his little mouth again, trying to get that little smile that he has, and working on his nose, just trying to get the nostrils and the edge of the eye sockets, and just kind of trying to get that shadows that go underneath the eye socket, and this gives you the shape of your eyes. Since you don't have pupils and you don't have irises and things like that in this eye, it's just going to be black, but you're going to add some highlight to it, which will give it the concave look, or the convex. I don't remember which one. Concave goes in, convex pokes out. So the convex look on the eyes there. And so I'm just kind of working on that, trying to get the eyebrow look. He doesn't have any eyebrows, but he does have a brow ridge there. So you want to add a little bit of some shadowed color to that as well. And so I'm working on that, and we'll continue all those refinements in part 3. So if you want to see that, stick around. And thanks everybody for watching. Thank you so much for your support. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments down below, and I will catch you later.